Thank you, Shireen, for the introduction. I would just like to thank you guys for coming today and for listening to us talk about how we can make the planet that we live in today a more sustainable one. Who I am right now, forget about it. It doesn't really matter. All I just want to do right now is to share my journey with you guys of how I became a clean, sustainable, private uh, transportation ambassador. So, electric vehicles are the futures. Really, this was me a couple of years ago. But why? Why are they? I mean, the journey really started when I was on holiday, actually, in Italy. As you do, when you're on holiday, you will tend to think about your future. What is next? You know, what business can I start up next? And wouldn't you know it, I was having a nice meal. If I can remember, I think it's fish, actually. And and a gentleman actually rode by in an electric scooter, and I thought, voila, that is the business idea. I'm going to sell electric scooters when I get back to London. But it didn't stop there. I did more exploration. I was on YouTube, and I was looking for suppliers, and I came across electric cars. And I thought, wait a minute, electric cars? Really? Oh, wait. I thought electric cars had limited range. They take too long to charge. Electric cars are too expensive. Electric cars are just bad for the environment. I mean, those batteries have to come from somewhere, right? You have to, go somewhere and mine them out of the ground. But then I came across Tesla. I'm sure some of you have probably heard about Tesla. If you haven't, trust me, go and take a test drive. You will love it. So the education began for me. I took a chance. I went onto Tesla's website. I signed up for a test drive with them, and they called me and said, "Hi, Afeez, do you want to take a test?" I was like, "Really? Okay." I went for a test drive, and my initial impression was that at the end of the test drive, they would try to sell me the car, but that was not the case. They actually tried to educate me, and that was when my education actually started about electric vehicles. I asked a lot of questions, just like these ones. Electric cars. I thought, the battery range was too low. I thought it took a long time to charge. Electric cars are too expensive. Teslas are, by the way. Electric cars are just, bad for the environment. I mean, those batteries, lithium batteries, they call them, have to come from somewhere. They need to be mined from somewhere. So, let's talk about Tesla for a little bit. 275 miles range. Now, typically, we don't travel more than 50 miles, probably 40 miles a day. Typical, driving range. You've got over-the-air updates. I remember the first Teslas didn't have there was an option called creep mode, where I'm sure most of you have probably driven before, it's where if you take your foot off the brake, the car will creep forward. The car never had that before, and it was actually updated over the air to the car over the air, literally. They gave the car a new functionality, so the car actually got better over time. 2.8 seconds from 0 to 60 miles an hour. Now, that just shattered my preconceptions about slow electric cars. 2.8, that's Bugatti Veyron territory. Networks of superchargers, 2,000 superchargers. Again, where do I charge the car from? Oh, and they're free, by the way. Car charging, 80% in 40 minutes. So you can get close to 200 miles of driving range, real driving range, in 40 minutes. And of course, it looks good. So in red, I like red. So advantages of electric cars. Let's forget about Tesla for a little bit. Let me just talk to you about the advantages of electric cars. They're economical. I think the way electric cars are being pushed onto people to drive is while they're green for the environment. Let's be honest, most people really don't really care about the environment. And that has been selfish, yes, it's bad, but it's the truth, and we have to be really truthful to ourselves. We need to tackle things like how much money people can save. But electric cars, they've got less moving parts. You don't get to service them that much. I mean, I actually charge, I had a car, an EV for a week. I charged it using the same charger that my toaster actually used. And I got back from work, charge the car in, just like my normal, just like my mobile phone, and the next morning I had 100 miles of range for like £2.50. So they are very economical. They're cheap. There's obviously zero tailpipe emission, no road tax. I had a BMW that cost me £270 a year. That was not good for my pocket. No congestion charge. So you can drive into central London for free. Some free parking spaces. London is pretty stingy with their parking spaces, but you do get some free parking spaces. With normal cars, you don't. Free charging in some areas. People do say, well, forget about Tesla. What about the normal affordable electric cars? Where do I charge if I want to go from here to, let's say, Reading, for example? You'll be surprised there's quite a lot of free charging spots along the M4, and they're completely free. Again, I mean, how many times will you, drive your normal ICE, internal combustion engine, and someone actually pays for your petrol? But electric cars is free. And of course, quick acceleration. I know that. I've driven Tesla so many times. So disadvantages, let's go back to what I said earlier. An electric car battery range is too limited? No, we have a technology right now, and Tesla's proven it, 270 miles. If you drive it like it should be driven. It can go up to about 230, but if you drive it like I do, it's about 240. Where do I charge? It's 9,300 places where you can charge. In the UK, within 5 years ago, there was about 130, 150 places. In 5 years, it's gone to 9,300. Where will we be in the next 5 years? That would be a lot more than that. It takes too long to recharge an electric car? No, 10 minutes to recharge to 80%. An affordable electric car with let's say about 120 miles, 130 miles, 80%, you get 80 miles. As I said earlier, typically you will drive no more than 50 miles a day. Electric cars are too expensive. The Nissan Leaf costs £15,000, the same amount as a Renault Clio. Electric cars are just as bad for the environment as regular cars. I hear this a lot. That's not strictly true. 25% of UK grid energy is from renewable, compared to 7% 10 years ago. Again, where will we be in the next 10 years? It will be a lot more than that. So, and obviously, you know by now that I do like Teslas, but what about affordable electric cars, the ones that we can all, buy and afford? Nissan Leaf, £15,000, I said earlier, 120 miles of range, charges in 80% in 30 minutes, network of free public charges available. BMW i3, I like BMW a lot. I've driven this quite a lot. It's fast, it's quick, and it's a BMW. I don't need to say anymore. Prices from 25,000 up to 170 miles with range extender. The range extender means there's a little small, it's not an engine, it's a generator that does not run the car. It doesn't actually move the wheels of the car. It just recharges the battery for you. So just in case you happen to have range anxiety, you can always pop into the petrol station and put a little bit of petrol in there. That will get you a little bit further so that you can charge the car. And of course, it comes with quick charging. So, I was not quite convinced. That's a lie. I was convinced. I just want to go on a road trip. So, I decided to go on a road trip. 830 kilometers in 2 days. I believe you should be able to prove what you're preaching. So, as I said earlier, a day's driving is 40 miles. In 2 days, 80 miles. So how do I really shatter this? I went 830 kilometers in 2 days. Here you go. I arrived in Wales. And this is me well, this is not me, but this is me in Wales about to mountain bike doing my road trip at a Bristol Balloon Festival. Keeping the Tesla clean as I do. You need to look good. Charging the Tesla. Oh, by the way, you see that big screen over there? 17-inch screen, touch screen. That's ridiculous. Oh, punting in Oxford, I try. Crashing a wedding in Oxford, yeah, I did that. And of course, came back home. And I did all of that in 2 days in an electric car without any range anxiety and without actually dropping a drop of petroleum. It is possible. So what is the issue? I'm convinced that the issue is lack of education. People just don't know this. Most dealerships either lack the knowledge or they just don't want to promote electric vehicle because it's against their policy. It's against the model that they're used to. As I said earlier, Electric cars have less moving parts. As a result, how are they going to charge you for servicing? How are they going to get you to come back to them to spend more money? There is no spark plug. There's no fan belt. There's no crankshaft. What else are they going to charge you on? Electric cars is essentially just a battery and motors. The only thing you probably need to change is the tires and maybe the wiper fluid, and that's it. The infrastructure is still developing, yes. The infrastructure is still developing, but it's developing a lot more than you think. We also need the government to give more incentive to electric cars. In Norway, they're just everywhere. And that's the reason why is because the government fully backs electric cars, not just going to back it because you say so. No, fully back, and that's what we need from our government. So what is next? We're planning a ESCP European EV road trip. Please join us. Not that one road trip wasn't not bad enough, but wasn't enough. But this time around, I really want to break the barriers, and I want to do it with ESCP Europe. We are going to go from London to Berlin, in a Tesla, by the way, to Berlin, pass through Milan to Turin, and then back up to Paris. And we're going to do this in 7 days in a Tesla without dropping a drop of petrol. So who am I? My name is Afeez. I'm the founder of TryMyEV. My mission with TryMyEV is to connect people with electric vehicles because I believe they are the best advocate of electric cars. Not the dealership, not even the car manufacturers. Look at VW. They had to cheat their way through the diesel scandal. I mean, if BMW engineers have to cheat the regulations, that proves to me that there is a glass ceiling that even they cannot go beyond. So maybe it is time for us to change our view of cleaner, private, sustainable transportation. Thank you.
Thank you, Zubair.